Harvey Siegel, thank you, sir, for that effusive, inflated, hyperbolic introduction that I provided for you. Ladies and gentlemen, there's a story within the Pearl Harbor story. It's the story of a nation under attack for 5 years, to be sure. But it's also the story of a man under attack for 64 years. A conscientious man of probity who has been humiliated, disgraced, and scapegoated for 64 years. That man is my grandfather. I'm his eldest grandson. As you will soon hear from the luminaries of the day, it was an unfair, unjust, deceptively dishonest, despicable act 64 years ago, and it remains all the more disgraceful today. I ask you, is it important that a naval officer should live to see his 41 years of unblemished service annihilated in little more than 41 minutes? Well, the Congress of the United States thinks that it is. And that is why the Congress passed a law recommending that this administration posthumously advance Rear Admiral Kimmel and Major General Short to their highest held temporary ranks in World War II of Admiral and Lieutenant General, respectively, in accordance with the Office of Personnel Act of 1947. But this administration refuses to do so, and refuses to provide to the American public available and requested information explaining why, and refuses, they tell us, even to bring this important matter of national honor to the attention of the President of the United States. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to ask you now, and I will ask you again, to help me help this administration bring this important matter of national honor to the attention of the President of the United States. What is the effect of this administration's refusal to implement the Congress's recommendation? Well, number one, it mocks the Congress. Number two, inexplicably, it continues to tolerate Pearl Harbor perjury. And number three, it perpetuates the myth that Admiral Kimmel and General Short were solely blamable for the success of the Japanese attack, as they are the only two persons otherwise qualified under the Office of Personnel Act of 1947 who have not been so advanced. In other words, the only two persons officially punished for the success of the Japanese attack. Ladies and gentlemen, it is a pleasure for me to be with you today. And if you're only able to take one thing away with you from our time together this morning, please hear this. If we continue to ignore the lessons we should have learned from the Pearl Harbor attack, the lessons the Pearl Harbor survivors have been trying to teach us for 64 years, then we are doomed to repeat the errors of the Pearl Harbor attack, as we have done and are doing with the 9/11 attack, and as I fear we will do with the next attack. So what should we do about it? Well, how's this for a three-step action plan? Number one, let's remember Pearl Harbor and keep America alert, the very motto of the Pearl Harbor Survivors Association. Number two, let's officially determine true accountability for the success of the Pearl Harbor attack. And that's what we're going to do today. And number three, should you invite me back again, let's officially determine true accountability for the success of the 9/11 attack. And that's what we would do if we ever get together again. But I do not have time to do that today. Okay, it's now time to put some flesh on these bones. Stay with me. With a little bit of effort on your part, I promise you an investigation to determine true accountability for the success of the Japanese attack. Number two, I promise you some facts you've never heard before. Number three, promise you some free stuff. And hopefully some fun along the way. After all, it is my job this morning to talk. It is your job to listen. Ladies and gentlemen, should you finish before I do, then God bless you.